Hello.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, it feels like I haven't spoken to you in ages.
No,
How are you?
I'm alright, you?
Yeah, not too bad. What's going on?
Just got a new goatee.
I just noticed.
Yeah, got a
Yeah.
goatee. Caught the sun a bit more.
Yeah, you
Smart.
look, you've got a new goatee. You look like you've gotten the sun. You
Lost a
look
bit
like
of
you've
weight.
lost a bit of
Yeah,
weight.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
about to say. So what's been going on? What have you been doing?
Just been training, really. Everyone's been asking about me training regime and me dietary, what's been going on. But I've just been sorting myself out. Been enjoying some downtime. But in that downtime, been doing more than I ever have. So it's been nice. It's been good.
So what's the kind of schedule? What's your day looking like?
Well, what I do is I wake up about 8:30. I have some. I'll tell you fully. To give you the full rundown.
I want minute by minute, break it down.
So I wake up at 8:30. 8:35, I leave my bedroom door. I go downstairs. I have like a protein shake. So I have 2 scoops of protein. There's some frozen fruit in the freezer as well. So I put some bananas in there, some grapes, a bit of apple, blend it all up. Blender's great. For a protein shake. Why did I not know this years ago? I'll never know. So they're getting protein stuff around the bottom of the thing. So I have a protein shake, I have a banana, I have a coffee and a glass of water as well, a pint of water. So I'll have that before 9 o'clock. 9 till 10, I'll sit there, contemplate, play Football Manager. You know what I mean? I've got United, I've been playing 14 years now, so doing really well there. And then at 10 o'clock this week, I've been walking because last week I was running and doing different things. And then I realised, I thought, I'm just not ready for that. So I'm walking every morning for about an hour, come back, do shadow boxing 6-3s. And then I come back and I eat. I get a shower, obviously, because I'm not a scrubber. Then I get a shower and then I prepare an omelette and start cooking as well. 3 eggs, bit of cheese. I was having ham, but ham's not good. So I was having 3 eggs and a bit of cheese. I have that. Then an hour later, I have some Greek yogurt with some cashews and almonds, all about the protein every hour or two. So anyway, yeah. So I eat that, drinking lots of water. I've cut down on the tea. I used to be like a 10 pint of tea a day, man.
I don't know
Can't
if I
do that.
believe that, to be fair.
Tea, yellow
10
enough.
points.
Yeah, honestly, look at my tea. That's tea, that. Anyway, so drink a bit of coffee, and then what do I eat? I eat something else. I have a lot of fruit as well, and then I have my dinner. Dinner's not I don't have a say in dinner. My sister prepares it. I just eat whatever's there, you know what I mean? So, and then I train again. I'll do something at night time. I'll do something with weights, you know what I mean? Whether it's my top half, my shoulders, or my back and my arms, or my legs, like I did today. I'm just a beast, to be honest.
So where has this, like, the training schedule been so strict, like, being honest? Where,
Well, what it is,
go on.
it's routine. Man like me in these times, it's hard times. It's lockdown, you know what I'm saying? It's isolation. It's a bit like prison, to be honest, but only, we've got a few more things to our disposal out here. So, and it's like for a box, it's like being in camp. I've been in camp before, you know what I mean? I've done all that stuff before. So, for me, there was the 2 things I could do. I could either put loads of weight on and use this as an excuse to get fat and say, oh God, I'm fat, oh God, but what do you want me to do? And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it another way. I think there'll be shows coming up in the next couple of months. I think they will happen behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. And I want to be the front of the queue and say, look, I'm ready to go. I wanted to shock everybody, and that's what I'm doing. So I've lost about 20 pounds now from when I first started 5-6 weeks ago.
That's a massive amount.
Yeah, and as well as that, the confidence on my face. I feel like a mix of the goatee and the confidence. Like I'm looking well.
How much of this newfound wisdom do you put down to age?
I think age is a lot of it. I've met a few good friends lately, and I've talked to them, and I feel like, you know what, you got to listen more. When I was a kid, I wouldn't listen to anybody. Until very recently, I just wouldn't listen. Like it was like, yeah, I'll listen to you. I respect your opinion, but I'm going to do it my way. And that was my mentality. Like I don't want to be on my deathbed and go, well, I wish I wouldn't listen to him because I'd have done this. But now I just think, you know what? It's like with Danny. Danny's very good for me because I know when I say things to him, I should take him on board as well. I say to Danny, I know what I always say to him. I say, Danny, I'm 10 years older than you. There's nothing you're going to do in the next 10 years that I've not done, seen, felt or been a part of. So listen to me, because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? So when someone 10 years older than me says, look, David, look, honestly, mate, you need to do this or you need to do that, you need to stop this, look at it like this. I'm starting to do that now. So there's a bit of maturity creeping in. We've got a few good friends as well that I've been talking to, and I think my outlook's just changed on life. You know, we're not here forever. We need to make the most of it.
Why do you think it's so difficult for people in general to not be able to do that famous, the well-known quote, you know, do as I say, not as I do? Why is it so hard for people? Why is it so easy for people to tell somebody else what to do with their lives, but it's very hard for them to look at themselves and go, okay, I need to do that? So you seem to have the balance of it laid out in terms of when you look at your relationship with Danny and the advice that you give him, and you seem like you're kind of saying, like, right, you need to do this, and I also need to do this as well. So that's a good thing, right?
Well, it's like people always say, when you have kids change your life. They always say, having kids change your life. I'm very fortunate. Danny's come into my life. He's like my son, you know. He's very much like my child or my little brother, you know. So I've been lucky enough where I've not got to have any kids and not have to deal with them, feed them and look after them. Well, I do with him sometimes, but still, I still got that kind of we've got that father-son relationship at times. You know, when it's just me and him and we're away, I'm in charge. Like I'm the father figure to him. I've got to be the mature one. And when he goes through certain things, I say, well, you got to do this. And then I think I'm 28, 27, 28, or whatever it was. And I think I'm still doing the same bullshit anyway. You know, so I do put down. You know, I've had a resurgence since the Yoka fight. And it's not an accident that it coincided with me training him, and as well as training, when you spend every day with someone, you know, you become very close. We are like family, like brothers or father and son. So I have to. I've took on that role, and I feel like it's been amazing for me, and more so now at 28. Like, it's time for me to grow up. You know, I've realised that. So I'm doing so. I'm not saying that's going to make me a world champion, but it's making me healthier. It's making me smart. It's making me make better decisions. I think that can only help my boxing career. I'm not saying it's going to make me a world champion, but you know, it's going to make me a little bit happier.
Well, that is a very interesting point that you finish on there, in terms of having Danny as part of your life now can only attribute to helping you in your own career. Whereas some people could say that having a focus that's not on yourself could be maybe a distraction. You seem to totally disagree with that and have put into practice that it's helping you rather than not helping.
Yeah, you know, when I think, and I look at certain things, I've got Danny, I've got Liam as well. Liam, the amateur boxer, you know, I look at him, and the better my career is, Danny's we're about to announce a great move for him, you know, and it would never happen if I would have done what I've done with my career. So I look forward, and I think the better I do, the more I can do for these two. And all I've ever asked for Danny from when we first met years ago were, one day, son, when you've achieved, you know, to a level what I have, where you can give a little back. I'm not saying I'm a world champion or a millionaire, but I've give back whatever I've ever made or done. I've always given it back to him and others. And I was just say to him, you give back in the same way that I have to you, to give you the opportunity. So the harder I train, the more effort I put in, the further on and better they're going to get. So, you know, these days I've got a hunger to strive with my own boxing career, because it'll do me better in the long run for my training and my managing and whatever else. So I don't know. I've been watching a lot of David Goggins as well. You know what I mean? Stay hard.
What a hero!
Stay hard. So yeah, you know, I'm just really enjoying life at the minute, to be honest.
Would it be fair to say that the role that you play in these boxers' lives, in terms of not just a coach, not just management, like not just a friend, not just a therapist, would it be fair to say that you didn't have that when you were starting out and when you had your career? And would you have liked that?
Well, when I met Danny the first time, he was 13. Then when I took him on, he was 15. When I was 13 and 15, I'd never boxed in my life. But I just think, if I had someone at that age, well, you can't get anything better than that. What better than, you know, to Danny, yeah, I was a local hero. He used to message me after all my fights. Never used to see him. And then when he told me after, it was good for him. And I always take the piss out of him now. Like, I can't believe you used to send me a message like that saying, "Oh, good luck, mate. Oh, God." So, of course, as a kid, you can only dream of one, literally an hero to him. I think that's a bit sad, like, but anyway, but like for him, it can't get any better than that. And like Liam was going down the wrong path, and I just said to him, I said, "Look, mate, come on, sort yourself out." So, and I was at 18, 19, that was a possibility for me, but I didn't really have anyone to steer me the right way. I just know right from wrong, but a lot of people sadly don't. So, yeah, they give me purpose, to be honest. And between them two, Liam's had a baby as well. That gives me purpose, as well. So I've got my own family, and I've got to think I want to achieve for myself. But, them two, Liam's had his baby. Liam having his baby gave me a lot of purpose. That gave me a lot to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I literally see them both with my kids. So, you know what I mean? I'm like a 28-year-old grandfather. I need to do well. And yeah, the better I do, the better they do. So that's how I'm looking at it.
How would you like to be remembered? If you think about in the pubs when people are sitting having a pint and your name is brought up, how do you want people to remember you?
Well, it depends where. Boxing fans, I'm going to be remembered as a character, I think. I had a discussion earlier. I was speaking to Sky. I was doing something with them, and they was like, "How do you think you're going to be remembered?" And I went, "I think probably a character first. Mm-hmm. I think I could go on to win world titles, and I'll still be a character first and foremost. The Babe Station trip, the Mick Foley wrestling, all that stuff. That's going to always, I think, come first, But I want to be remembered, I guess, in terms of boxing, as a good fighter, That's it. I'm happy. People in boxing, Joshua Buatsi said to Chris Lloyd, Dave Allen's a good fighter. People don't realise how good he is, but he's good. And that, to me, man, are over the moon just with that. Mm. So hopefully, the vast majority of the public can go, yeah, Dave Allen was good. Yeah. But in terms of like my local community, I just wanted to say, yeah, Dave Allen was a good man, and he did good things for everyone. And I think in terms of that, I think I'm well on the way for that. But for the boxing, I've got a bit of work to do before the majority say he was a good fighter.
Do you feel like, with the new signing with MTK and obviously the news that you're going to train with Jamie Moore and Nigel Travis down at their gym, do you think that now boxing fans are kind of starting to get a little bit excited again about Dave Allen?
I mean, I think with me, I could probably box the Milkman, and there's thousands of people who, "Oh, Dave Allen's fighting. Let's get sat down and watch it," because he's gonna have a go. I always have a go. And even when I knock somebody out, you're gonna watch me get fisted for 10 rounds. So, you're gonna have a bit of enjoyment either way. So yeah, I think people hopefully will take me more seriously. I think that'll come with looking in better condition, which is what I'm trying to do first and foremost, and then putting on some good performances. So, in terms of the boxing, I'm not really worrying. Getting in shape for me at the minute, like I'm not doing it massively for boxing. Mm-hmm. I just want to be healthy, I want to look good, I want to feel good. And at the minute, with the goatee, he's doing massive things for me. You might not admit it, but I know it is. And I just want to feel good. And, I can tell when I'm talking clearer. 6 months ago, people going, "Oh, he's punch drunk, oh, he's this and that." And everyone now's like, "Oh, he's speaking a lot clearer." That's because I'm happier. The happier I am, the clearer I speak, the better I look. So at the minute, I must be feeling fantastic.
I agree, and you know what? It's like one of those things, right, where like, because you probably would be the first to admit that like it's very easy to come off this wagon of feeling healthy and stuff like that. And I think that's like something that's really important about what you're doing and the way you're being so open and honest about the training and eating well and you're feeling better. Is that the general public that are your fans, that are your followers, if they take even a small bit of what you're doing into their lives and help them progress in their lives, then, this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? Inspiring people to do better and to live better lives, to be healthier, to be happier.
Well, 3 things on that. One, for me, it's easy because I'm obsessive. I used to be gambling obsessed. Mm-hmm. When I get my teeth into something, that's why I've never drank, never smoked, never done drugs, because I know for a fact I ain't going to start, but I want to do it to the excess. So that's why I never started doing any of them things. I knew they'd be bad for me, so I just don't start. The gambling, I started at 8-year-old, and I was a menace with it for 18 years nearly. So same with this, what I'm doing now. Like, I write things down before bed. 10 o'clock, I don't go to sleep till late, but I write things down at 10 o'clock. I've got a little list, like, I need to, my breakfast, this is what I'm having at this time. I'm going to train at this time. And like tonight, I've got things written down, like I must do 20 of each one. And I'm not stopping till I do 20 of each exercise. Like that's just it. I've got to do 20. If I think I've miscounted, I'm going to have a little rest. I'm going to do it again, so I make sure I do it. I've got a really obsessive mindset. So, and at the minute, because there's literally nothing else to do, I'm obsessing over my diet being right. You know what I mean? I'm making my omelette, and like, there's a little bit of egg not coming out of the thing, like the runny thing, it's not coming out of the thing. And I'm there for 5 minutes getting the fork, trying to get it all out. I think I need to get 3 eggs in this thing, because I don't get 3 eggs in, I'm not doing it right. So I only hope that when everything goes back to normal, I'll be able to continue that. Whether I will or not with other stuff on the brain, I'm not sure. Secondly, I think with a lot of people, like, they want to get fit, they want to do this. If I weren't a professional boxer, yeah, I want to be fit, I want to be healthy, but I would be nowhere near the same. If you're a 9-to-5 office worker, then don't be killing yourself. Life is for living and enjoying. You know, you've got to be healthy. You know, go for a run, do your weights, hit the bag, enjoy yourself. But don't. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of. Luckily, no one looks at me and gets jealous of my body. But don't. You know what I mean? Like I think I've got to stress that. You know, just enjoy yourself first and foremost, and then if you want to get fit, you want to train, and you see me doing it, you think, oh, I'd like to do that, then do it. But if not, there's no wrong either with drinking 12 pints of Iron Brew a day and 12 packets of crisps either. You know what I mean? So whatever floats your boat. And thirdly, what was I saying thirdly? I had something else, but I've gone on so long with the first 2 points, I ain't got a clue what I was going to say.
We're out of time. No, but listen, what I want to ask you is that word obsessive. It's a very interesting word because it's a positive. There's positives in it and there's negatives in it. Do you or would you agree that to be at the level that you're at and to continue to stay at this level in the game, you need to be obsessive?
Well, I'll tell you a few things. I boxed Luis Ortiz, Dillian White, Tony Yoka, Nick Webb, Lenroy Thomas. I probably boxed 23 fights in my professional career out 25, and probably trained. Luckily, if I trained 40 weeks for 23 fights. I've never been obsessed. I trained for the Lucas Brown fight, and I trained for that proper. I trained for a fight early in my career. I think I watched Fabrice Oriang, Jason Gavin. I was fit for them. And David Price, I put it in for 5 weeks till the wheels fell off. But it's like, I've never been obsessed. I've never trained hard. I was number 15 rated heavyweight in the world after the Brown fight. I'd only trained for 2 fights. Crazy, really.
It's absolutely, like, I mean, it's nuts because, I mean, like, what could be done if it was the opposite? What could be done if you were obsessed?
The thing is, like, it's difficult because what if my mum had a penis? I wouldn't be here, would I? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't, would I? So there's a lot of what if buts and maybes because I've not been able to put a good. Some people can't take a punch, right? Some people can't punch. Some people aren't strong. I've been incapable of training for 8 or 10 weeks and doing it consistently. I'm incapable of not eating shit. That's the problem, and that's as bad as not being able to punch. It's only the same thing. It's another attribute that you need. You know, I know a lot of fighters that haven't got half the talent of, you know, not me but other fighters. Haven't got not even 1%. Look at Scott Fitzgerald before the Fowler fight. He was fighting fighters and he was struggling to beat somebody. He boxed Adam Jones from the same village as me. And he struggled like chuffed to beat him. And he struggled to beat a few other fighters. And you're thinking, oh, he's not very good. Turns up fit, proper camp against Fowler, and he looks like a world beater. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm very confident one day it's going to go absolutely. One day I'm going to turn up, I'm going to train for 10 weeks, like unbelievable. I'm going to turn up on the night, things are going to come together. And I think I'm capable of nearly beating everybody in the world. And people have told me that before, so I don't really stress it. And if I don't do it, I don't do it. You know, if I can't punch, I want to go, oh, well, it's a shame. No one can't punch. Well, I can't. I've not been able to put together good training camps, but it is what it is. I'm not getting down about it. I'm a new man, turned a new leaf.
When are you most proud of yourself?
What I'm most proud of in my life that's happened?
No, when are the moments when you're most proud? As in present moments. When do you know? Look back in your career, I suppose. Like, is it? after a win in the change room? Is it a couple of days afterwards? Is it now when you look back on the fights that you've had? Like, where does it show up?
I've had 2 moments of real pride in the last 6 months. Probably the second proudest, Danny boxed a kid at Rotunda. He was like the English #1 seed. And Danny boxed out of his skin. He got beat, like the kid was too big for him. And he got beat, but he was fantastic. And I looked at him, I thought, that kid won about 8 out of 35 when I met him. Now he's holding his own with the best kid in the country. And I thought, you know what, Dave, he's done a good job there. And I look at Danny sometimes, well, I think he's growing into just a good human being, and it makes me pretty proud. The most proud I've been, and at the time, Liam had just had his baby, and it was just before like the coronavirus thing was happening. It was literally just before. And so I was at my sister's, so I came back home. Me, Danny, and Heather, our friend, went to Liam's house. And I walked in the house, and Liam was holding his baby. And I never, honest to God, I could have burst out crying. Never been as proud. Because the man I met 8 months ago, in trouble, doing all sorts he shouldn't be doing. And he's just sat there. You know, he's had 5 amateur fights. He's on the straight and narrow, no trouble whatsoever. He's not doing any of the things he was doing before. And I just thought, that made me so proud. And I've probably not been as happy as that in a very long time. Being Luke's Baron at Webb, yeah, fantastic. You know, them moments last for seconds and minutes of happiness and excitement. When I beat Lucas Brown, 20 minutes after I beat him and done the piss test and back in the hotel, I was in bed and just thought, oh, well, it's done now. You know, on to the next one. But my things that I achieve are genuinely the last for seconds. But I still sit here. I messaged Liam earlier, so how you doing, mate? How you getting on? And when he messaged me stuff like, oh, brilliant, mate, I had a run earlier and you know, oh, everything's good at home, yeah, we're getting on really well, yeah, baby's fine. And that makes me so happy. When I text Danny and I video called him earlier with some news that we're announcing, the look on his face, and that makes me so fucking happy. I don't know about pride, but happiness, and I just think they're the things that really make me happy and proud.
Well, they are very admirable, lovely qualities that you have, that your pride is like wrapped up in other people's joy.
Yeah, I mean, it's genuinely like, I say to them both, hopefully they're not watching. I don't know if Danny might watch it, Liam won't, because he's probably got a Nokia 3210 at the minute. But they make me, I'm just, and people always say, oh, Dave, like, my dad can't get his head around it either. You know, last year at like November time, he was like, David, why aren't you boxing? Like, why aren't you back training and boxing? Why on earth are you in a working men's club with a 17-year-old kid and Liam? Like, why are you training them as amateurs? And people say to me all the time, why are you training these kids instead of giving 100% yourself? But I get more out of it. It makes me so happy. It gives me more of a reason. Boxing for me is great. If I retired tomorrow, I'd be happy with my lot. But I don't care. People might find it odd, but it makes me so happy.
Well, my final question before I go into the question box to see what everyone else wants to ask you is, finish the sentence. Happiness is
temporary, always temporary, because I've come to realise now, I've got to know myself a little bit better now over I'd say probably the last 15 years. I feel like I've been different to other people, or I perceive myself to be different. But over time, you get older and you realise that everyone's pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. So happiness is never constant. It's only temporary, and you know, while it's here, you got to make the most of it. Like today, as you can see, I'm in a fantastic mood. But I know that sadness is only around the corner. I know that, you know, anger is only around the corner. I know disappointment will be here soon. You know, so I enjoy the happiness to the most now. When I'm in a good mood, I make the most of it. I ring all my friends. I say weird things on the phone, scream at them, make funny faces, tell them all sorts of stories, then put the phone down. You know, and that's just what I do. And then when times are bad, you know, I just sit there and I just think, it's all right, Davey boy. You know, things will be back all right soon, and it's fine. So,
well, that's a very interesting point in that, you know, I think some people feel like when they're in a dark place, that when they get happy again, that the dark place is never going to come back. But it's more about embracing the fact that the darkness is going to come back, and it's how you sort of navigate your way through it that
Everything is temporary.
matters.
Everything in life is temporary, but death.
Yes.
And that's what I've realised.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Everything in
Yes.
life is
Yes.
temporary, but
Yes.
death. And that's why in times gone past when, you know, I once made a proper attempt at ending my life. But, you know, when I feel like, you know what, I'm going to do this, I've had enough now. That ain't temporary, you know?
Mm.
Everything else, state of mind and everything is temporary. That ain't temporary. So, you know, with maturity, I've realised that. And that's probably the most important thing I've realised recently.
Well, that's a win in itself, right?
Yeah, feeling good.
A big win. Okay, let's look in the question box and see what everyone has got for us today. Okay, Noah Lee straight off the bat has asked, would you like to rematch Ortiz?
I mean, not really, no. You know, in terms of boxing at the minute, opponents and stuff, I'm not really giving much thought, you know. What about Ortiz again? Yeah, you give me the right amount of money and stuff, I'll box anybody. So it's not a case of that I'm not scared of fighting anybody, but will Luis Ortiz want to fight me again? Probably not, because he probably sees it as a pointless exercise, but I guess we'll have to see in terms of stuff like that.
I hear you. There's lots of comments about your tan. I won't even try and keep it from you. Jonathan has asked if Joshua and Tyson fight, who do you reckon?
Well, I think
results.
Well, I think either man can win. You know, this is heavyweight boxing at the highest level. You know, you got too many who can really punch. People say that Tyson Fury can't punch. You don't become heavyweight champion of the world if you can't punch. You could have a little bit of pop, you know what I mean? And in the first fight, if he had no power, Deontay Wilder would have literally just walked straight through him and clubbed him to submission. So, and Anthony Joshua obviously can punch. He's got a puncher's record. I sparred him. You know, for me, Anthony's he's not brute force. His power's not brute force. Like, it's not one hit and you're out. It's the speed, you know? And that speed times his size plus the 10-ounce gloves, you're in a lot of trouble. So, for me, Tyson and Joshua, it's like, who's going to stick that shot on the other one first? I don't see it going 12 rounds. You know, Anthony showed in the Ruiz fight he can box. He can really box and move. He can't do that. He can't do that with Tyson. Like, he's not going to be outboxed. I don't see anyone outboxing him. So I think Anthony will have to take it to him. I think Tyson would outbox him and stop him later on. But, you know, an Anthony Joshua knockout, you know, against anybody in the world wouldn't surprise you. But I would edge towards Tyson, yeah.
Great stuff. Caleb has asked, when or if will we see you fight for a title coming soon?
I think, well, I don't want to say too much, but I think there will be boxing behind closed doors at the back end of the summer. However, if I got a British title shot behind closed doors, I wouldn't want it. You know, when I win a title, I want to do it in front of a massive crowd. You know, me and all the people that support me. Because people that support me, it's not like, I don't have fans like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. They're not worldwide and there's millions of them. But I've got the same little nucleus. You know, the same thousands and thousands of people that have been there since I boxed Dylan White, then I boxed Ortiz, then Roy Thomas at Bramall Lane, then the rematch, then they watched me have the Yoka fight, then they saw me come back and beat Webb, then they saw me win Nebo and Bracamonte and beat Brown. I thought I was taking us all to world title glory. I thought we were all going there, and I got beat by Price. And then I boxed Dorian Darch. Sheffield Arena was full, you know, and I'm more popular than ever. So
they're very important to you, aren't they?
Yeah, it means a lot to me because I got into boxing because I wanted people to like me, to be honest. And when I first started boxing, I couldn't sell a ticket. One fight, I sold 3 tickets. Didn't even sell them. One with my girlfriend at the time, and 2 others were my mates. And I took it out of my purse. The 3 tickets out of my purse. Couldn't sell a ticket. That was Newcastle Arena, 2014. So 4 years and 3 months after I bought 3 of my own tickets at Newcastle Arena. 10,000 were screaming, "There's only one David Allen." So for me, that means so much. When I started my career, my first 10 fights, I would have struggled to sell 200 tickets for all 10 of them combined. So I thought I was going to be confined to a career of, I don't know really. I thought I'd retire or I'd be a journeyman or just obscure it in. I don't know really. So it does mean a lot to me, yeah. And when I win the title, any title, British title, Commonwealth title, you know, or even a WBO international. I'm not even bothered what it is, as long as I can wear it around town. So I want people to be there when I win it. I want to get the belt. I want to walk around the thing, and I want to give it. I want to let everyone have a touch of it and hold it, feel it, have a picture of it. So, hopefully,
Are you going to charge? Are you going to charge for a picture?
Absolutely not. No, they cannot. I might even let them take it home. I'd be so happy. I'm not even bothered. But I want to box behind closed doors, but I don't want to box for a title behind closed doors.
That's interesting. Let me just see here. Loads of people are asking about whether you'll fight in Leeds again. So there must be loads of people from Leeds watching.
Well, I think Josh Warrington obviously bought it ready now. So
yeah,
I loved it in Leeds. I've only boxed there once, but the arena sat out. It's all on one side. You know, the crowd's all on one side. I boxed it on right there. It wasn't. I didn't even box very well, to be honest. I got well beat. You know, the fight weren't great, but from round 6 onwards, every time like I came back out of the corner for the next round, everyone would be up on the feet, shouting and screaming and cheering. They were chanting Rocky and Rhino and that. And I thought, what on earth is going on? I thought these people, they took a shine to me through the fight. I'm not even sure why they just took a shine to me. So I loved it at Leeds, yeah. So hopefully when everything's back to normal and Josh Warrington goes back to Leeds, yeah, I'd love to be on that card.
Okay, I'm going to take 2 more questions. Karina has asked, if you had to quarantine with 5 people, dead or alive, who are you choosing? You can't choose people that you know.
Well, I'll probably choose them to be alive, obviously. That's my preference. I think the first.
Well, you get to little bring people back from the dead for quarantine.
I want to bring Dwayne Johnson in.
Yeah, you love The Rock.
I love The Rock. The Rock probably my first hero as a kid. Then we're going to bring Will Smith in. Love Will Smith as well.
Okay.
So I'm behind that. Me plus 5.
Yeah, you get 5. Yeah.
All right. So that's 3. So we've got 3 left. Holly Willoughby can come.
Yeah, very good.
Bring her in. Come in, girl. Lisa Ann. We'll bring Lisa Ann in. She can come as well.
Right.
She can do the cooking and stuff and the cleaning. And then one more person, dead or alive. Well, I've got a singer. I've got an actor. I've got a wrestler. I've got an actress in Lisa. I've got Holly Willoughby there. She's good at like reading the news and stuff.
She'd be good at curating the conversation at the dinner table, I imagine.
I imagine she'd be good at a lot of things. And one more. Who would I bring in? One more. Probably bring in Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah.
Denzel, Washington, The Rock, Will Smith. They're the 3 men that I look at. I admire them. You know, they're the 3 men outside the boxing that I look at and I admire them. You know, because I've read all the story and you know what they've achieved and where they've come from and what they've done is brilliant. So they're the 3 people I think in terms of when I'd like to spend time with. Holly and Lisa, obviously. You know, they obviously. I think what I'd like to bring them in. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for conversational purposes, obviously.
Yeah.
Let me just see. Oh, so Robbie Giles, 1995, has asked Daniel Dubois or Joe Joyce, honest opinion, ?
I think Joe Joyce wins that fight. But I think Daniel Dubois will achieve more in his career than Joe will. Because Joe's 33 already, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Joe will beat Daniel in this fight because I think he'll outman him. I think he's too tough, too strong. And I think he'll win this fight. But I don't think Joe's going to get any better than he is now. And I don't think he'll beat the Joshuas or the Furies. I think Daniel isn't ready for Joe at the minute. But I think in 4 or 5 years, Daniel will be able to compete with the very best. So it's a weird way of looking at it, but that's how I see it. I think Joe will be too much for him. But I think, you know, in 4 or 5 years, I think Daniel will surpass the level where Joe's at. I think they're both outstanding talent, though.
Absolutely. Okay, very, very, very last one. This is a good one. Sheila, I think it is, Sheila 268, has asked, if you had to pick one person to play you in a film, in a story of your life, who would it be?
I would pick Rav Wilding. I don't know if you know Rav Wilding.
No, who's that?
He used to do Crime Watch and Helicopter Heroes. And everyone used to say, look like me. So, be pretty cheap. You know, I'm not sure what budget we've got for this film. Probably, if they did it at the minute, not very much, so probably raffle perfect.
Well, if he's not still working, I'm sure you could get him with a cheap rate.
Yeah, I think rather do it. I think it probably fits the budget. Yeah, probably Rob Wilding, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And continued success with the tan, the goatee, the weight loss.
Next time you interview me in 2 weeks, yeah.
Because bantamweight.
I am Fight Connect TV. I am Fight Connect TV. So I'll be looking even better then.
I'd just like to say thank you very much for all my new followers that I'm just after getting.
You're very welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good evening, and I'll speak to you
awesome.
soon.
Right, you
Thanks,
too.
Dave.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.